Hmm? Ah!
You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode, we are going to talk about the comedy horror film Piranha, directed by Joe Dante and released August 3rd, 1978. So another super recent one.
You know what? We needed a movie this week that didn't require an intense discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the movie that I went to.
Yeah, because we're recording late at night tonight because I wanted to do life. And on the time we usually record, I said, nope, I'm going to a comedy show. I'm going to go to the comedy club and go see one of the best comedians of our time right now. Love her. So yeah, just shout out Tina Frimmel. Go see her. She's awesome.
You know, we do this podcast. We have fun with it. Normally we stick to our recording schedule, the time and everything. But sometimes there are other things that come up. You have something that you want to do. I have something that I want to do. And we just work around it as part of life. And because it's that chill, it's even more fun. Because we know we can work it out. If something needs to switch it up, we'll adjust. And so we've been doing this podcast for 5 years. We've got a system. It works. Mm-hmm. So there's no need to change anything up.
Yep.
So this one, I will say off the top that there were things I forgot about it. And while I was watching it, I started thinking about the remake that they did because the remake is a little bit different. But some of the things are similar or there are callbacks. Mm-hmm. It's not quite as goofy or silly as this one, because even some of my notes are about the silliness or the just how it's campy and just typical of that time frame.
Yeah,
this is one of those movies that got made or was kickstarted basically by Jaws.
Very much in that vein.
Yeah,
for sure.
And right down like to the bottom of it, they had problems with things like production problems on this movie. Mm-hmm. They changed the cast at the last minute. They had some underwater cameras that kept breaking down. They had problems. And so when I was reading more about this movie and read that, I thought, okay, so you know what? You get it, because Bruce the shark was not an easy mechanical shark to deal with on Jaws. So, you know.
So it can't be any easier just dealing with hundreds of little vibrating rubber fish.
It's crazy what they did. But this is also one of the earliest movies for Phil Tippett, who, I mean, he's Mr. Stop Motion Animation. He's done a ton of different movies. He brought us Mad God, which is a movie we really had a deep discussion on. It's one of our best episodes, I think. A great movie that more people should watch, I think, especially now, because it's really pertinent to some of the stuff going on. So I think it might help you look through things with a different lens just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Roger Corman, who was an executive producer on this movie, this was his homage to Jaws. Like, he loved Jaws. And Steven Spielberg loved this movie. He said the best of the Jaws ripoff. So I think that's great. He loved it. He thought it was great. Fun. There was a little bit of drama behind the scenes with Universal Studios attempted to sue New World for doing this movie because of Jaws. But it started this whole movement. I mean, Jaws started everything that we got with the creatures from 1975 on. So This is just part of the impact of it. So we got this movie.
Yeah.
And it's a movie.
It is a movie. That is true. That's a factual statement.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually looking forward to this conversation because I think it could be very fun and silly, and I'm okay with that. So, like all other episodes, we're going to do it the way we always do, with production notes first. It was filmed in Sagan, Wimberley, and San Marcos, Texas, and Los Angeles, California. Was the second film directed by Joe Dante, who went on to direct a few movies you may have heard of: The Howling, Gremlins, Gremlins 2: The New Batch, and Small Soldiers. You know, Small Soldiers is a movie that I loved. I don't think it fits this.
Not quite, no.
But I loved the movie, and I would love to talk about it just because, you know, the Gorgonites, you know. Again, random trivia that lives in my head. I remember things like that. Joe Dante also did a ton of TV episodes. He did like 10 of Hawaii Five-0, but then he did a bunch of other shows like Erie, Indiana was one. The Twilight Zone. Like, just, he's been a very busy director. Budget for this movie was $600,000. Of that $600,000, $50,000 went to special effects and $10,000 went to just the score for the movie. It grossed $16 million at the box office. It's become a cult classic. It's 94 minutes long. Pake, I don't think the synopsis was written by IMDb, so I'd love for you to tell me.
So actually, it is from IMDb, but it's not the official synopsis of the movie. IMDb has user-submitted synopsis options, and this was the one that fit absolutely the best for me, based even on notes that I was taking. We'll get to those as kind of a running thing. So I liked this one way better than just the boring cut and dry synopsis. So this is why I went with that one. Two self-righteous idiots accidentally release a genetically altered species of piranha into a stream. From there, both the piranha and the idiots slowly make their way downstream to various swimming holes and resorts, each in their own way, wreaking havoc.
Yeah, I didn't read all of the synopsis because I read just the beginning part, and I knew that I was going to be in for it. And I'm okay with this movie getting talked about and thrashed around because it was 1978. They didn't exactly have $1 million budget. They had 600,000, and I'm imagine now trying to do that. You wouldn't even be able to pay a cast member for $600,000. Yeah, it would never work. So we will discuss it the way that we always do, with breaking it down by the main character. But the thing about this movie is, except for the very beginning, Paul and Maggie were side by side the entire time. So I feel like this is one of those tandem character discussions that we're going to get.
So it's going to be that. And then also, I don't have any other characters to separate out, and we're going to just back and forth. So actually, it's going to be one of those episodes where my notes are in chronological order from when I took them watching the movie, and they're staying that way. And it's just going to be like a live reading, just going through it and reliving the movie in order through my brain and the jokes that we found along the way.
Okay. Well, you started to say chronological order, and I wondered if that had to do with all the impact that the piranha and the toxic chemicals had on the river.
Could have been.
But, so this, you know what? Let's start it out with my very first note.
That's probably a good place to start.
Here's a tip from me. Don't go breaking into abandoned military sites. You might find yourself getting bit on the ass or more. Also, don't pull the plug. Ever. Just gonna say.
Yeah. My thoughts on Barbara and David, I have a few different notes. First, don't worry, Barbara. You're totally fine. What? You think there's any possible chance something's coming to get you?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Yes. And then when they get to the pond, which is actually a swimming pool, and she goes, far out. And I go, yes, Barbara, this is far out of the way. We were just talking about how it's not even marked on the map. You're right. And then, she took her top off, so she's going to die. Any horror 80s and earlier has rules. And then we got Bush, so yeah, she's a goner.
Well, he thinks, what if it's a sewage treatment plant? And my thought was, oh, buddy, it's so much worse than a sewage treatment plant. You wish. You wish it was.
She goes, what if somebody catches us? She goes, there's nobody here. And I was like, you're right, there's nobody here. At least there won't be soon.
Well, there was, because Hoke was there.
Yeah, he was still there.
Random light on to show us someone was actually there. I mean, he was the cover-up doctor man.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of think Mystery Science Theater my way through this one. So there's a lot of these, at least at the beginning, so a lot of these early jokes were me just like talking to the screen. Like, David, what did I tell you about swimming with red Kool-Aid powder in your pockets?
When David disappeared into a red bloody mess, it might have occurred to her to get the fuck out of it.
Right.
Like, that was my thought. Okay, he's become chum, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the pool. At least attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
No, she just let it happen and her own demise. They killed her mostly off screen. We just get that hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. I actually liked that they killed her off screen. I thought, okay, we don't really need to see it. I'm sure it was cheaper that way and they could use the budget for other things.
Yeah, going right into opening credits with like the red overlay on the water and then mixing it into like the blue with like the arcade game that Maggie's playing, which the editors had so much fun with the opening credits, like flashing with the arcade game beeps and boops, like then the like names and stuff. You just know they were so proud of that.
Oh, I love that the name of the game was Jaws. That was just fun. Super fun. And Maggie, she is a skip tracer, basically. She is someone who goes and finds things. Funny enough, there's a novelization of this that fills in some of the background info. And the reason she ended up being like a private eye or a skip tracer or whatever is because her boyfriend walked out on her. And so she hired a private detective to find him, and she got so hooked on it that she just decided to be one herself.
Her boyfriend walked out on her. Maggie? Why would anybody want to get far away from her as they possibly could want to? What about her personality makes her not want to be here? He might make you want to not be around her at all. I don't get it.
Oh, man. The actress, Heather Menzies, she was in a movie about snakes. And the name of the movie is, and I'm not kidding, it's just a bunch of S's.
That's funny.
Yeah. I think it could be one we could cover just for the insanity of it when we need another movie like this.
Silliness.
Yeah.
And if we do cover it, then anytime I'm going to be drawing out S's in words the whole time, that's going to be a thing. I'm warning you now. If you just decide to do that, you're going to have to put up with that. So. Oh,
goodness. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth it.
We'll see. But yeah, gets that job. So she's working, looking for the two that died in the opening. And that's what leads her to Paul's secluded cabin of fish and booze.
Okay, but she can't find her ticket and she drives like a maniac. Like, the way she was driving on the roads, I'm just like, no wonder the Jeep just said no.
Yeah,
no more.
I can't with you. I mean, I felt for Paul. He's just minding his business, chilling in his cabin, living life, and some woman comes barging in, looking around your place and demanding that you ride with her up the mountain. It's like, I'm eating and vegging. No. That should have been the end of movie. That's a wrap on Paul.
He doesn't... Okay, Paul just wants to be left alone. He's got his friend Jack who brings his groceries to him, okay? Because he doesn't want to be bothered with anything, really. he immediately thinks Maggie's there because his ex-wife sent her.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he loves to correct anything she says that's wrong, which I thought was great. Except she gets also super bossy and just drags him around with no regard for anything ominous that's in her face.
No.
Like, no regard. And she has the balls to say, "You think I'm wasting my time up here, don't you?" And his response was, "No, I think you're wasting mine."
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one of Paul's comebacks to her. Because,
And I'll say,
yeah.
riding mountain trails is fun, but as enjoyment, not as a chore, not being dragged along by a crazy person.
Yeah. Who makes bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad decisions. Maybe listen to the man at the base who knows what's in that water instead of opening the gates and letting the water and all the wonderful piranha out.
Yeah, we're getting to that part of the notes, which was why I took one look at that synopsis I read earlier and went, yeah, that's it. That's the one. It's this defunct military lab that they keep talking about. They show up over there, and it's definitely still in use by someone who's been fucking around with some mad scientist shit. Things like a stumpy little Godzilla and a claymation lizard boy.
I know,
which are Phil Tippett goodness. That yes. I fully was like, so those things, spending so much time on these like claymation, stop motion little monsters, those are definitely coming back in the movie, right? No, they're not.
No, they're not. I was disappointed. They were so mean to the creature that was in the tank, and I'm just like, he probably thinks you're gross too. Don't be mean to him.
Right.
I'm like, that's a Phil Tippett creation. Leave him alone.
And then when Dr. Hoke shows up, and I was like, these are the heroes of the movie? Because so far we got what? Break into private property, snoop through their stuff, draining the pond that has their property in it against their will, and then when that person confronts you about it, it's assault and battery. Mm-hmm. No questions, no suspicion of anything, just straight up whacking him in the back of the head with blunt objects. That's what we're immediately going to.
Yep.
Okay. And these are like I said, these are like the heroes of the movie, because so far all they've done is breaking and entering and assault. So, role models.
I mean, she's responsible for the deaths in this movie, really. I mean, she is. She made the decision to do it. Paul did not decide to do it. She decided.
Yeah.
And Hope tried to stop them.
Yeah. You drained the pond. They keep calling it a pond. I was like, that's a swimming pool.
It is.
In no world is that a pond, but okay.
I feel bad because the creatures, who's going to take care of them now?
Yeah.
I'm worried about them because they don't have Hope to take care of them.
No. And then Hoke, I don't know where he was running off to, but like, he took my Jeep. Like, what kind of person would just take liberties with another person's belongings and property? The nerve!
He doesn't get very far, though. No. He can't see because he's been concussed.
I know, when Maggie runs over to him after he like had climbed out of the Jeep, the first thought, she's like, he's alive. And I was like, I don't know, maybe you should start beating him some more. Will that maybe help? Is that what you want to do? And she's like, nah, we're going to do something much more reasonable and legal, like restraining him and holding him hostage. That's what we're going to do instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, he only stole the Jeep because Maggie left the keys in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a different time. I mean, where I grew up, we didn't lock our doors even. Like, people would leave their keys in the car. It was never an issue.
Yeah.
It's a very different time now.
Yes. They somehow get back to Paul's cabin with this guy in tow, tie him up in the bedroom, and then they, like, talk to him and get this information out of him, however, like, a little bit. Or at least, like, figuring out what to do with him. And then she's just, like, she, like, puts the blanket on him and walks out. And, like, I'm thinking, he's like, I said no, don't do it. And then you drained the pond swimming pool at a testing lab with no idea what's going on. And then on top of that, now you're walking out of the room with not a single semblance of, also sorry for assaulting you in your own home, because that was definitely not an insane thing to do.
No, not at all. Not at all.
okay. And then Maggie and Paul go back to talking, and they're like, what do we do with him or something? And then, she's like, well, he thinks somebody's going to kill him. And he goes, I am, if he steps out of line. I'm like, my guy, you're the one that broke into his home, assaulted him, and then kidnapped and bound him. You want to talk about crossing a line?
Yeah, exactly. It's just insanity. Insanity. And then she and Paul sit on the couch and put a blanket over each other. Like they have a blanket. Okay, so in the novel, they slept together. Mm. I don't know if that happened in this, but maybe.
The interactions are way more awkward. Because I was like, yeah, she is so good with small talk and getting to know someone, with questions like, did you start drinking before or after your wife left you? Yeah.
Those are icebreaker conversations. Right. Come on.
She's got one hell of a track record with interacting with new people. At least she hasn't struck Paul in the head with a blunt object yet. We'll see.
I mean, there's still plenty of movie left at this point.
Yeah. Man. And then they get to talking about Paul's daughter. There's the picture of her and stuff. And
Susie.
She's over at the camp, and then he's like, yeah, my daughter is scared of the river. And I was like, well, I'm sure after this movie, it's going to stay that way.
Yeah. One would think, absolutely, it's going to stay this way. Mm-hmm. Because of what happens.
Yeah.
But she has her own little private hell going on there.
Oh, yeah. So, jump over to the camp. I was like, man, this guy, I didn't even get his name because I don't care.
Dumont?
Yeah,
yes,
maybe.
Dumont.
I was like, this guy is way too douchey and pompous to be a kids' camp director. Like,
he has no empathy at all.
I know. And then they start talking about the piranha making their way down there, and like immediately I was like, oh no, don't tell me one of these kids at the camp's gonna get Kintnered. Let it be douchey McGee.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Pake, your wish was not granted.
No. Douchey McGee did not get Kintnered. But neither did any of the kids. Close, but not a full Kintnering. It was like a half Kintnered. At half Kintner.
Yeah.
Could that be a term?
I mean, he was pulling people out of the water, but he didn't get a canoe out and try to go out and get anyone that was out further.
Yeah.
At least Susie, skipping ahead, and
we could do that.
Anyway, at least Susie was brave. She wasn't strong enough, but she was brave. The intention was there.
Yeah. And then the next casualty of the piranhas is Jack, Paul's friend, which is like, my legs are being attacked. If only there was anything I could do, like pull them out of the water with the other 85% of my body.
But I liked him. He was a likable guy.
Yeah.
He talked about the river being part of his life, and he could have a bath in the river, and all these things. And he had that great dog named Brandy, and all I could think is, if you kill the dog, I'm not going to be happy. But I don't think the dog dies.
No.
That's what I just kept thinking.
Brandy was fine.
Yeah, but we basically get to see he's crawled up. He crawled away. Eventually, he crawled away.
Yeah, he waited until his legs were gone. Then he was like, oh, now I should get him out of there, probably.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think
even just like on reflex, if I'm sitting there with my feet in the water and something bites me once, I'm immediately like reflexively jerking my legs up out of the water, no matter what it is. Not sitting there going, and not moving for 15 minutes.
It wasn't like his whole body was in the water. There was one death later that I genuinely cheered when it happened. Because I'm like, you deserve it. And there are a few others that deserve it too. But I'm glad at least one of you got it.
Yes. Oh. And then, so then they get onto this raft to try to head down.
Which is great in theory.
To the dam. Yeah.
They want to also get him medical care.
Yeah.
Because Hoke had been concussed, basically.
Yeah, they want to try to take care of Hoke, get him to town. Like, the only way to really do that without the Jeep, quickest way is hop on the river with the raft and get down. And then they start talking to Hoke, and they get some answers. They're like, because he's freaking out, like, take your hand out of the water. It's like, what's going on with the water? And there's some reason I didn't make a note about it, but how did I know that the scientist dude was going to call them piranha. Like, I made a joke to myself about it at the beginning of the movie when, like, David and Barbara are like, what could be in this water? And I was like, I just did my, like, own weird, like, mad scientist thing. It's like, it's a bunch of piranha. And then I just said it to myself, but then he actually said it that way. And I was like, how did I know? I'm psychic.
Oh, man. I know. I kind of cringed. I was like,
And then I realized, I was like, this movie was what sensationalized the whole danger of piranhas, like, thing, huh? This movie in the late 70s gave them the false reputation that they still carry to this day with a lot of people. Like, because you see it in, like, pop culture. It's like, oh no, river full of piranhas. And it's like, okay. Like, in reality, it's like, they're pretty timid. Like, if you jump into the water with them, they're going to go, that's a big thing, and then swim away. They don't want anything to do with you. I don't.
yeah, not in this movie, Pake.
No,
And all the thrashing and things with people in the water, it was very Jaws-like. I mean, honestly. I mean, kids, of course, even in inner tubes, are going to be in the water. They're just going to thrash. It's what kids do. They thrash and splash.
To be fair, I will. Here's our actual, like, true, like, science facts, nature facts segment. Piranhas, the danger. Do my best, David Attenborough. Today we're going to we'll talk about the danger of the piranha.
I don't think he would call it piranha.
No, probably not.
Do you? No.
Maybe like the police captain, the Piranha.
Oh my God. Oh man.
But yeah. So the true, what is the danger of a piranha? Yeah, like I said, they do swim in shoals or packs and can overwhelm in specific instances, but they're very specific instances. One, their food source where they're at has, like, dried up and they're starving. Then they would actually go to the point of attacking a human being. If the person happened to make their way into their nesting area where they're guarding their eggs during a very specific, like, spawning season time, then they might be more aggressive. And then, of course, the thrashing is a real thing. Like, if you were in the water that has piranha in it and were doing a lot of thrashing, it would lure them as, like, a possible bait, but then they would see you and they might bite you once or twice and then realize, no, I don't want to deal with this thing. And, like, they're not going to do what they do. So the only reason they could, like, be deadly is really one of those first two. Like, their food source is dried up and they're starving, or you, like, unwittingly walk into, like, a spawning territorial guarding eggs season in a very specific spot.
Which
yeah.
The instinct of animal parents is usually to protect the young or the eggs, or not all. There are some that's not the instinct, but for many, the instinct is for them to protect that. So it's not a surprise that they would.
Yeah, but most of the time, the vast majority of the time, they're just like any other fish, and they're going to be like, yeah, I don't want anything to do with person.
Yeah. I mean, these types of movies, there were others that came out. There's The Swarm, which is about bees. There's other movies that came out that, you know, sensationalized fear of different species in the same way that Jaws did. Only you can imagine seeing a shark and being afraid.
Yeah.
In general. But I'll have to ask my mom if, before Jaws came out, if being afraid of sharks was a thing, or if it was the Jaws thing that really made it, like, blow up.
Yeah, interesting. Then we cut back to the camp just real quick with, again, Susie trying to get out of doing this, like, tube race thing because she is afraid of the water or things in it. She says, so just, like, a little quick, and then we're getting this Dumont guy. It's like, more evidence why home dude shouldn't run a camp. When obviously he's unliked enough that counselors are throwing darts at a picture of his face. So it speaks volumes.
He's always skulking about, too. I feel like he just I don't know really that he's directing anything of any kind. I feel like the counselors are doing the directing and he's just around.
Like saying like just he's only there to just like ruin the kids' fun. No comics. No doing this. What at one point what did he say to one kid? He was like, no swinging after dinner. What? Why? What? Like that sounds like a great time to be on a swing. I don't know.
You should not be working in anything to do with children because you are sucking the life out of the fun. You're sucking the fun out of this experience that's supposed to be fun for these kids, who many of whom are probably away from home for the first time in some cases and dealing with their anxiety. Again, I'm thinking about kids being in a place that might be uncomfortable for them, and you're making it worse with your assholery. Yes. Basically. My word. I think I break that word out every once in a while, and today is a good one. Yeah.
Let's see. I guess next is really the other canoe on the boat that they come across on the raft, which
the poor boy.
The boy and his dad, which again, a lot of tragedy in this movie could be avoided if people just knew how to take body parts out of the water. Like, yeah. Piranha aren't that strong. The guy's like reaching in and like his like netting is stuck on something. And then he starts getting bit on the arm. And instead of like, ow, my arm, he's like keeping it in there. Just like, oh no, what do I do?
And it pulls the whole canoe over.
Yeah. I was like, man, this guy has a lot of blood in his hand. That's a lot.
I mean, you lose that much blood, you'd think that's too much. Mm-hmm. You know?
Too much. And then before they come across it, of course, Dr. Hoke gives the reason why he was working at the lab and what the piranhas were for. It's always government, like military for super weapons. I was like fish of war, war fish, scaled weapons, killers with killers.
Operation Razor Teeth. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that's what they call it. Yeah. Oh, it's basically... They wanted to use Piranha to kill. Mm-hmm.
You know? Completely overtake like bodies of water and like ecosystems.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And they were being bred to be able to be in cold water, warm water, salt water, fresh water, like all of it.
All the waters.
All the waters. But some of them decided to be mutants, very much like the X-Men. Mm-hmm. Do you think there's X-Fish? Like, what would they call it? What would they call it? Mutant X-Fin. Piranha. X-Fin. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, that's when they come across the kid on the upturned canoe, which... What is this? The whole thing, the kid that then they just write out of the movie on a whim. It's like, we never know what happened to him.
No, we
don't know. Who cares? But Dr. Hoke, I will never understand
why he did that.
Yeah. Oh no, look at that poor kid. He's clearly been traumatized. I know what I must do. I need to swim over there, grab his hand, and then make him watch a second person get devoured right in front of him. Doubling the trauma. Clearly, this is the only thing that he needs right now. And then...
It made no sense.
Once I'm mortally wounded, and now he's as horrified as he possibly can be, we pull him onto the raft at the same time it would have reached him regardless. I'm a goddamn genius. You thought I was to blame, but I'll show you by dying. In your face.
Well, too, it was making the situation worse for the boy because I think it made the canoe more unstable with him grabbing.
It literally was like, oh no, that boy is in distress. Let me make him in more distress. I can do it.
Like, oh my God. And the poor little boy thought it was his dad because he was in shock. He just kept thinking he kept acting like it was his dad. Like, they're eating him.
Oh, yeah, even after the body died and they had to, like, dump it over. Yeah, I have a note about that where I said, was that kid saying daddy? Not every man that falls off a watercraft and dies is your father.
No, but you can see why he was in shock. I mean, he saw his dad. He saw his dad die.
Yeah, that poor kid. Again, that's why that synopsis was incredible, because I was like, yes, idiots that make their way down the river and just create havoc for more and more people as they go along. That kid is like...
man.
I wrote a little song. We'll add it to our album. What was it?
Okay.
A man, a woman, a boy, and a body floating down the river there. 3 are horrified. 1 is dead. A literal, actual nightmare.
Again, we will add this to the album.
Yeah. Yeah, their thoughts with this kid. And then, yeah, what you're talking about was like once they realize like the piranhas are eating through the ropes because of the blood. And it's like, no, we have to push the body in, kid. You haven't witnessed enough carnage yet. We need you to be so fucked up. It's the only way.
Yeah. I just figured they could do an interview now, 50 years later? We could do an interview with Boy, because we don't have a name, and see how this traumatized him for his life.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He was like, he went through like the worst day of his life, and then these 3 that turned back into 2 absolute fucking morons show up just to make it worse in every way they possibly can.
Oh, man. I mean, the only one that, to me, that was... I mean, there were others that were bad in this movie. One, Dr. Zengers and Colonel, Waxman. They're equally to blame for a lot of this, but...
Yeah, and then taking the raft as far as it could go, but then they're close enough to the dam. Paul mentions that they opened the dam at some, random, or not really random, but whatever, spaced out intervals to let the overflow through, and then the piranha could use that to get to where the camp is. And so he makes this run to stop the guy who's fumbling, and there's like tries to make it as undramatically dramatic as possible to let him get there right at the last minute. Like, don't open the dam, and the guy's like, but sir, there's still half the movie left. I feel like I might have to. And then they're like, oh yeah, it would be insane to open the dam now. So we'll have the fish take the detour. We'll reroute them.
Of course. I mean, and this is when we get to meet Dr. Zengers and Colonel Waxman, who want to, for some insane reason, want to bring Paul and Maggie on to be part of the team.
Yeah. A lot of my notes were like taking like a quote, like people were saying, and then ending it with my own made up like ending. I'm like twisting things because it was, you're the only civilians that know about this. What the colonel means is we want you to join the team, or we'll have to kill you because you know too much.
I mean, really?
Basically the vibe I got. And then, because even then when Maggie is talking to her, it's like, you knew Dr. Hoke? It's like, you were friends? He goes, let's say we were a great deal more than that. I'm his ex-wife. And then Maggie go, oh, well, then I clearly have to ask you, did he start drinking before or after you left him?
Oh, my God. They had a creative way of getting out of the situation, though. They were in that tent. They put them in a tent. They were in there, and Paul is like, you've got to distract him so I can get away and go do something. And she decides she needs to go along. And, I mean, Paul told her to come on to the guy. And Maggie, for some reason, I mean, I guess that's a way you can come on to someone.
I think the classic moves when a woman wants to flirt with a guy. Lead with, are you gay? Mention an article you read. Point up and yell, what's that? And then flash your boobs. It works every time.
I mean, yeah. So the actress did not feel comfortable doing that because she thought her husband wouldn't like it. Well, she was married to Robert Urich, who is also an actor. So they paid, I think, a waitress to be the stunt double for the boob part.
So
I mean,
scummy.
how? I mean, really? I think it was a
Hey,
waitress.
Tuts, we need you in our movie. All you gotta do is show them tatas, and then you're good. We'll pay you.
And she'd been in Playboy, so it wasn't like the world hadn't seen them before. But yeah, it was basically a waitress at the restaurant at the Holiday Inn, where everyone was staying.
It does. It just sounds so scummy when you put it. It's like they found a waitress. Because again, like what I just said, it's like all I can picture is like, how do they find that? Hey, Tuts, want to show your boobs on camera? I'll give you money.
Oh my God.
I'm sure it was more professional than that, but also in my head canon, I want it to be exactly that for some reason. Yeah, because they don't want to let them out, so they have to sneak out of the camp. Because again, the military is like, we can't let this secret out. Because more wars will happen, and for some reason, we're super married to this whole battlefish idea. We can't come up with anything better, so we definitely want to keep this card in our playbook.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they get pulled over by the police captain who says Piranha. So I was like, that's a third pronunciation. Are we going to get any more?
Maybe. I mean, that movie is called Piranha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Piranha. I did notice in the police station, there's a bunch of wanted posters for a flasher. That was a funny little thing that I noticed.
I did not notice that, but of course you would.
Yeah. And then we're supposed to get a phone call. I don't want to hear it. Well, then leave the room while I'm on the phone.
But you know what? This is the situation where Maggie and her impulsiveness actually pays off. All because of Mo Schneider, the plumber.
Yeah.
You know?
But it still was very much in her wheelhouse. It's the old tried and true Maggie McCown method. Just blunt object to the back of the head. She's got a good track record with it.
Yeah.
Definitely a signature move.
I did love that the keys were roped into his pants, and I'm like, okay, might you have been able to, like, untie them? Did you really need to take his pants off? But I love that Paul said to her after, or while she was doing it, come on, I'd have thought you could get a man's pants off quicker than that. And I'm like, how do you know, Paul? How do you know she could or couldn't?
Right.
I mean, really.
But then it led to a drive-by pantsing on the captain. In one way. It took me till this point in the movie to realize they were in Texas. Was
it meeting our new favorite character, Buck Gardner, that
really solidified it? Yeah. Because I live in East Texas and West Texas is 400 years away from here. So it's a whole different continent, basically. Might as well be. So I forget, because I don't ever go to West Texas that often, so I forget that we have mountains in Texas. So it was like, well, they're in the mountains, so clearly it's like West Virginia and a river. So I'm like thinking like that. And then like the police captain's got the cowboy hat, and I was like, okay, maybe they're in Colorado. A lot of mountains. And then we meet...
Buck Gardner.
And then I remembered Paul wearing the Texas belt buckle at the beginning of the movie when Jack comes and visits him, and then like all the Texas stuff really starts to come in. I was like, okay, I guess we are in West Texas, and I just didn't pick up on it. And then we see the Lost River Lake place that this resort that he's built out here, which we learned the colonel is a secret investor in. I was like, corruption in the government institutions. Now that's just too wacky. Who's going to believe that?
Well, there's always a capitalist, and there's always some sort of grand opening, like in Alligator or Jaws. Like there's always some celebration. Yeah. We can't cancel it.
At that point, I had to be like, okay, Texas. And then I was like, river, mountains, where are we at? And then, because it just like went over my head. So I was like, okay, I have to look at the filming locations. And as soon as it said San Marcos, I was like, oh yeah, they're on the Guadalupe River. I've literally floated that river before. I've been in that exact water they filmed in.
Did you get to pet the piranha? Were they nice to you, Pake?
They were very nice. But yeah, so I was like, I've been in that river. It's actually quite a fun time. And then I was like, that makes sense. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Paul was a maniac driving too. Mm-hmm. Like just flying through the air at times, that car. And at one point they did this thing where there were a bunch of things going on. I think it was while the kids were getting chewed. And then the car like flies through the air at like they show it slowly. And I'm like, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, it is very helpful that the stolen cop car had a fast forward setting.
I didn't. You noticed that too, because it was really like it wasn't everything.
Yeah.
All I can think is Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, I mean, that is great technology to put into a car when you need to go fast.
So before the kids got into the water, like at the camp, did you notice that there were kids with like archery, like bow and arrow, and were shooting targets like with no supervision whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, I've been at a camp and shot arrows, but there was definitely way more strict guideline supervision involved when we were doing that.
I mean, the kid played a joke on Dumont, and I laughed so hard. I'm like, of course. I'm like, at your summer camp, Dumont, this would probably happen because those kids are shooting aimlessly with no one there watching them. You're more concerned about comics getting read.
Yeah.
Or kids swimming across in the middle of the night, to the, swimming across the other side. Like, we wouldn't want that.
There's no rules on that river. If for any business or any camp or resort or anything there, apparently. I mean, I'm thinking back to when we see later on when the piranhas are like making their way down that river. I was like, are there zero regulations on this river? It is way too narrow to be water skiing, especially that fast. And then we have guys diving, someone's fishing. There's a stuntman randomly running through up and blowing up people's boats. This resort is full of chaos. I don't know what's happening.
Did you notice that too? Yeah. That the boat actually blew up before the other boat hit it?
Yeah.
I was like...
It's like...
What?
They got divers, water skiers, and they're filming an action movie in the middle of the river, I guess, too. I don't know what that is. The guy in the other boat that went through it had like a Evel Knievel helmet and cape or something on. I was like, what the fuck is happening at this resort?
Well, Buck Gardner believes in recycling, and he brought all these things in, and I was...
The piranhas came in, and they ate a bunch of people, and they blew up a boat. And it's like, no, that was whatever the hell else was going on separately. That had nothing to do with the fish.
Exactly. It was insane. But even before that, we get the kids, basically, at... getting with their buddies, minnows and guppies, to do this race across the river, I'm guessing. I mean, it seemed like what it was supposed to be, but I didn't feel like they were going in that direction.
They weren't really going much of anywhere. It just seemed like they were passing batons back and forth between two kids.
Yes.
Here. Yeah, and then the feeding frenzy starts. And all I could think, little Susie was just watching all these guppies getting gobbled and thinking, I fucking told you, things in the water. And then like looking at Dumont like, fish don't eat people. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah, they do. And you've got the proof now on your frickin' face. Because it jumped up and... I was like, okay, yes.
But then, the whole scene with the kids, I was like, well, we'll live in the logic of this movie. Apparently, smaller people take much longer to eat. I mean... I'm glad that the kids seemingly all survive, but logically, I'm like, those kids were getting munched on for like an hour, and they all climbed out of there with like some scrapes and cuts, but mostly all good. And it's like, okay, so the younger you are, the longer it takes for piranhas to eat you, I guess is how this logic works in this movie.
And again, it didn't possess Dumont to throw a canoe in and go and get Betsy and Laura, who were out on one inner tube together, or to help rescue the kids. Like, he was just pulling them out. I guess maybe that was the right strategy, but in my mind, he should have done more.
Well, like, Susie goes out there and saves one of the counselors, not her favorite, but one of them. And then Paul gets there and takes a canoe and goes out to there. And I was like, what is the point of transferring them from the inflatable raft thing they were in to the canoe? Just have them come back to the shore in the thing. Right. Why are you going out to get them? They have a watercraft. They're in something. I don't know.
Susie got out there and she got back. Yeah. She was being brave and being an adult as a child compared to the rest of it. I mean, it was kind of nuts. And the thing that got me was this seriousness of them showing this one part after where the lake looked so serene, but you could see the bloody inner tubes and just, it just was like the haunting aftermath of what just happened.
Yeah. Now the fish move their way on because, again, it's good that the kids mostly made it out fine. We don't need to see a bunch of child deaths in the movie. So we get further down the river, down to the resort. That's a buffet we can use to really boost up the kill count in this movie.
Well, they had the scuba diver, they had a jet ski, they had all this stuff. And all
scuba diver, that scene, my commentary, commentary track that is, no, camera guy, back up, you're too close,
There were a lot of overacting, and not on the kids' part. Like, adults were overacting in some cases. All I can think is, okay, look, boys, work for your dinner. You've got a jet skier or a scuba diver. It's your choice. What do you want first? Like, pick it out, Piranha.
Yeah.
Another buffet opportunity presented to you.
Buffet with lots of several moments of Lone Star beer product placement. So we have a beer sponsor for the buffet. That's good.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone interviewed the Piranha after to find out if the beer, after being consumed, affected the taste of the people they were eating.
It's like marinating. I was going to say, have you never? And then I was like, well, you don't live in Texas, so this is probably much more of a Texas thing, but beer can chicken?
No, I've never had beer can chicken, Pake. Is it something Lance would make at Heritage East?
Maybe. He would maybe make like a fancy version of it. But it's literally when you just like grill or spit fire, like roast like a whole chicken, but then you just shove a beer can up in it. And so as it cooks, the like beer in the can like boils off, and like, so you basically marinate the inside of the chicken with the, steam off of the beer.
Okay. I think it would have been nice for them to interview the Piranha and find out their opinion on this.
Yeah.
I will say Joe Dante really likes Dick Miller, who played Buck Gardner, who was also in Gremlins.
Yeah.
And Gremlins 2.
I think.
And Small Soldiers. And The Howling.
My favorite line of the movie, just the way it was hilariously dry delivery. What I love a good dry humor, like, delivery, was the his like assistant or whoever coming up to him while he's on the phone. Yes. He goes, what about the goddamn piranhas? They're eating the guests, sir.
Yes. Yes. I wrote that down because it was great. It was great.
And then, as you said, deaths that you were happy about, because when the Colonel hit the water and was gone almost instantaneously. And I was like, wow, that was quick. And then I thought about it, and I was, well, again, let's go to the logic of the movie. He was pretty old, and we have established that death by piranha does dramatically increase in time it takes the younger you are. So, yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, we saw a lot of them, like the piranha were biting wherever they wanted, and I thought they were just wanting some finger food or maybe some toe food. I don't know. Toe food. Yeah. I thought it was perfect. I was cheering for it to happen.
All this mayhem going on up and down the river, and Paul and Maggie are just running around town playing a game of GTA, seeing what vehicle they can steal next.
Honestly, yes. At that point, they had a cop car.
Mm-hmm. And then they steal a boat.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, are you going to try to get to help people? No, they were going off. Because Paul's come up with an idea on how to stop them, because the scientists don't seem to be trying very hard. Yeah. I mean, the Dr. Zengers isn't doing anything.
Yeah, so
the army isn't doing anything.
They're going to go to this building that's half underwater or whatever. You know, the classic pollution valve. Every natural body of water needs one, Yes. Of course. Which then I was like, there's like, that's what we're going to do is we're going to pollute the water and then all this. And I was like, yay, pollution. Because that is the moral of this story. Pollution is good and destroying ecosystems is a heroic thing to do.
Yep. Dun, 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 dun. The more you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Paul says we'll pollute the bastards to death.
Yay, pollution. We love it. And then again, with the plan, it's like, okay, I'm going to tie the rope around me and I'm going to swim down there and get it. And then I was like, if I don't come back after the count of 100, then you gun. I'm like, why do you tell her to gun it if you don't come back? She's safe in the boat. She can sit there a little bit, see if you come back or not. She's not in danger. She doesn't need to go anywhere. I don't. It's like, because,
I think it ended up saving him.
Oh yeah, it's like because the plot needs it to yank me out of there.
Yeah.
At the last second.
Well, some of those scenes too were not Bradford Dillman. It was Eric Braeden, who had been cast originally to play the part, but then backed out. Eric Braeden, to some people, well, to anyone who watches soap operas, has played Victor Newman on Young and the Restless forever. Like, ages, probably the last 40 years at least. He went on to better things, I guess. But his scenes they kept because they didn't want to have to refilm them. So in some places it's not Paul Grogan. And so when I heard that, all I could think is Eric Braeden as Victor Newman playing Paul Grogan. And it just didn't compute in my head.
Yeah, so he goes to dive in. You started counting before he even jumped in. There was a whole 6 seconds of time he lost to accomplish his goal. I know.
Well, I mean, he was getting chewed, basically, when she floored it and got him out of there. One thing I liked is that they made the rope look like it got chewed in half. So you think for a second that he died. And I think it would have really ended the movie on a very serious note. But then you see this hand come up and it's all chewed up. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then by the end, he's in shock.
Like when he dives down there, it's the same little piano theme music that, you know, for the underwater that, you know, is like, like little, which is fun. But now here at the end of the movie, there's a tasty little flute lick that, I was like, all right, okay. Spicing up the soundtrack, the score a little bit.
Yeah, they spent money on that.
Yeah. And then, yeah, he survives. We get him back. And then why the fuck is Susie there? Why is his daughter at the resort? He said he was going to go back to the camp to get her. Did they just let her walk off? What was...
Probably she walked there on her own because you know what? There is no adult supervision except for Evil Dumont. And who wants to listen to him anyway?
Like, it was very clear, like, we're going to leave you here at the camp and we'll come back for you. And then it's like further down the river that they had to drive to get to. It's like, oh, she's just here now. Okay.
The way that it ended with Dr. Mengers basically saying, there's no way they could survive the salt water. There's nothing left to fear. And then you hear this.
That means they 100% make it to the ocean.
Yes. And the piranha to me sounded like flies and mosquitoes. Like, or bees. So I couldn't get past that. I'm like, I don't know who decided to make them sound like that.
To have little engines in them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. They were remote control. That's what they were, Pake. They were remote controls. Actually, they were not. They were not at all. They were rubber puppet fish on sticks.
They just wiggle them real fast.
Yeah. They rehearsed that at the Holiday Inn. My little singing interludes, of which there are almost none, will not be on any album. But they were at the Holiday Inn. That's where they rehearsed them there. Like because that's where everybody was staying when they were filming. So they just used the pool and practiced.
Did the rubber fish on sticks remember their lines?
I don't think so. I think that was a problem.
But, yeah, that's all the notes I got. We did it. I made it.
I think we did.
We've had some of the longest episodes ever this season. So you know what? I think it's good for us to just have a quick, funny one. And
yeah, it's a fun one. I think it's always good to go back and watch movies from the 70s because I think they were a little bolder sometimes with what they were trying to do. And then, especially if they have like a remake or a redo later on and you can see that, it's usually not as bold. Although the remake of this one, there are some things that are quite interesting.
No, which remake are we talking about? 3 Double D? Because that's one that exists.
Yes, it is. No, I'm thinking of the one where is it Jerry O'Connell's or Charlie, whichever O'Connell it was that was in it. His most preferentially loved appendage gets chewed off and is seen in the water.
Fun.
Yeah. But, yeah.
His butt. Oh, no.
No, not his butt. No. That's definitely one we can do sometime.
Oh, man.
It's one I think we can do like a silly, fun one. Eli Roth is in it.
We could attempt to do it as a very serious, heartfelt one, but might pose its own challenges.
Pake, you haven't seen it, have you?
No. Of course.
Okay. No. You can't really do it as a heartfelt
Don't
movie.
tell me what I can or can't do. I'll try.
Yeah, that's the problem. I really need to remember that. I can't tell you can't do something because then you will try to do it and just to spite me.
If we cover that one, I'm going to be as philosophical and deep and thoughtful as I possibly can be.
If you want to challenge yourself in that way, I wish you the best of luck.
Mm-hmm. See, what you really see in this scene is what it makes me think of, is it's a metaphor for the decisions that people make in their life, basically overruling their manhood itself. And
yeah,
He thinks of himself as less of a man because of the decisions he made that led to this moment.
Yeah. Sure. If that makes you happy.
And so the aforementioned dick nibble is, of course, the very metaphorical, allegory for, maybe I could do it. I don't know. We'll see.
You probably could, but think about Ian Malcolm and how he says just because you didn't stop to think whether you should do it.
Mm-hmm. I'll mull it over. We'll see. We'll think about it.
Okay. You'll chew on it?
I'll chew on it.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. The feedback phone is breaking up the awkward silence. All right. Well, I'm going to go get that answered and see what people had to say about Piranha. All right, we do have one little bit of feedback for this week's episode. Of course, Catherine coming through for us, as always. We love it. So I'll go ahead and read her feedback here for Piranha. It says, Piranha is one of my favorite movies to play in the background. I love all the very obvious Jaws ripoffs, the bumbling pair of heroes, and the intense gore, like the legs of the grandpa on the dock. I've seen all the sequels and remakes, and yet I remember nothing about them other than the ocean, and more mutations are involved. They don't have the charm of Dr. Hoke sacrificing himself in a very extended sequence of outswimming a raft, or lines like, "They're eating the guests!" I always feel bad for poor little Susie, who must be so traumatized after losing an amazing counselor like Betsy, and having her dad come back in a coma. I never understood why the piranha sounded like a swarm of bees, but somehow it's very effective, and I think it's used in the later movies too.
Yes, I think it is. And Catherine, I rewatched Piranha 2 right after we recorded this, just because I wanted the reminder of how good or bad it was, and we're not going to cover it, I don't think.
No?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we're going to cover it. We have so many other movies to cover. But if you'd like to submit feedback like Catherine, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Run For Your Lives Podcast, or you can email us at runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. You can go to runforyourlivespodcast.com for all the links that you're ever going to need. And if you're enjoying the show, tell your friends. We are available on all the podcast players, including Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and more. If you're feeling so inclined, drop us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that is the best way to share the love and get us out there even more We really appreciate it.
We absolutely do. And of course, speaking of sharing the love, got to give those shout outs to things going on in the Podcastica universe around us and beyond. Some stuff for you to check out over on Wax Episodic, which is the newest Podcastica podcast. They are going back and covering season 1 of the Amazon Prime series Fallout, as season 2 comes out in December. So they're getting ready for that second season, watching the first. So you can get Kara, Cassie, and Jason talking about episode 3 this week. So you can check out that over on Wax Episodic. And then also something a little different and new for Podcastica. If you are a part of our Patreon group, or you wanted to subscribe to that or do something similar, there will be an Apple subscription, Apple subscribers possibility, or joining the Patreon group. And with that, you will get maybe, I think, our first ever Podcastica Patreon or subscriber specific podcast, where Jason will be joined by Sean, who is former co-host of my other podcast, Strange Indeed, with Rima back in the day. So Jason and Sean will be covering Welcome to Derry, which is the It series that's going to be over on HBO. Yeah, so if you want to check that out, if you are a Patreon subscriber, you go through like the Apple subscriptions and stuff, definitely make sure to check that out and give them some love over there covering Welcome to Derry. And of course, speaking of my other show, Strange Indeed, we haven't been doing anything for a little bit, but if you aren't aware, I think I've mentioned it before, but we will be back next month, as me and Rima are going to be jumping into the show that started that podcast off. Kind of coming full circle, as we will be doing the final season of Stranger Things next month when it launches. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot through the holidays, all through the holidays, because I think it's like right at Thanksgiving is when the first one's dropping, going through New Year's with releases. And we're going to try to stick with all of it. Long episodes, but I'm excited. It'll be really great to jump back into all things Hawkins and see how Stranger Things wraps it all up. So stay tuned for that as well. And then outside of Podcastica, of course, our good friends at Pirate Core Entertainment been covering Peacemaker over on Panels to Pixels. So that has been over now, season 2. So you can make sure to go in and check out their coverage of all of season 2 there. And then also our friends over at TV Podcast Industries have been covering Gen V, the boys spinoff show, which wrapped this week as well, its season finale. So all the coverage for season 2 of Gen V you can check out at TV Podcast Industries. Also, if you want more of me and Daphne, you can check out us on the Buffalo podcast, joined by our good friends Jeff and Jerry. So we take a little break from the things TV and movies and coverage like that, and just get together and have some fun, make each other laugh, play games, kind of a little comedy hangout friends podcast. We've been having a good time with it, so definitely check that out at Buffalo podcast. And yeah, after you check out all that stuff, we'll be right here next week with a new episode for you on Run for Your Lives. Daphne, what are we doing next week?
Well, when Andy and Piper are orphaned and left to the care of a foster mother, Andy discovers her intentions are far more sinister than they seem. We are covering Danny and Michael Philippou's 2025 film, Bring Her Back.
Yeah, another 2025 movie. This one's gotten a lot of buzz. So we decided to jump into that, and yeah, I'm really glad that we did. I think we had a really good time watching that one and talking about it. So again, next week on Friday, we'll have that coverage up. So definitely, in the meantime, give us your thoughts, your feedback on our socials, and we can include them in that episode.
Definitely. And with that, we've reached the end of another fun episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Bye-bye.